Hello everyone, in this video we are looking at the cosine rule, introduction to the cosine rule, and how to find a missing side and a missing angle. So first of all, let's have a look at how to find a missing side. So we should write out the cosine rule. The cosine rule is a squared is equal to b squared add c squared minus 2bc cos a. So that is the cosine rule. And what we're looking to do is find a missing side. Now, this is the pattern that we're looking for in the cosine rule. We're looking for, in order to know whether or not to use the cosine rule, the pattern we're looking for is that you have two sides with an angle in between. So if you've got two sides with an angle in between, that's a good indicator that the cosine rule is going to be appropriate. It doesn't matter which side you call B and which side you call C, but the side that you call A must be the one that's opposite the angle. So that's the thing that really matters. Doesn't matter which one you call B and C, but the one that you call A must be the one that's opposite the angle. So in this case, substituting into the cosine rule, we're going to have x squared is equal to 8 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times by 8 times by 5 times by the cosine of 45 degrees. I think it's 43 degrees. 43 degrees. Okay, so there we go. So we can now put all of that into our calculator. So let's see what we get when we put that in. So we're going to put in 8 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 8 times 5 times the cosine of 43 close brackets. That gives us that x squared is equal to 30.491. So therefore x is equal to the square root of that. So square root of answer gives us 5.2 meters to 1 decimal place. So that's our first instance there of how we use the cosine rule in order to find a missing side. Let's just do one more, just why not? Just do a couple of each perhaps. So here, the second one, we have J, we have I, we have H, we have X over here, 11, 16, and 35. Okay, so the side opposite the angle is the one that we're trying to find. So we're going to write down that x squared is equal to 11 squared plus 16 squared, that's 16, minus 2 times 11 times 16 times the cosine of 35 degrees. 35 degrees. Let's put all of that in and see what we get. So this time we have that we're putting in 11 squared plus 16 squared, 11 squared plus 16 squared minus 2 times 11 times 16 times the cosine of 35 degrees, close bracket, equals, gives us 88.658. 88.658. So therefore x is the square root of that. So square root of answer gives us 9.4. Okay, so 9.4 centimeters in this case is that one. And again, that's to 1 decimal place. Perfect. Now let's look at how we use the cosine rule, this time now to find a missing angle. Okay, so let's think about that. So we're now talking about a missing angle with the cosine rule. So let's look at this. So I'll write down missing angle. Okay, now the thing here is I would start off by writing the cosine rule down. And then, so we've got a squared equals b squared, that's c squared minus 2bc cos a. So what we need to do here is we need to use a rearranged version of the cosine rule. Okay, now you can either just directly remember it, which is perhaps advisable, or I'm going to show you how you would derive it from the original cosine rule formula. So I'm going to add this expression over to this side, and I'm going to subtract the a squared and take that over there. So we're going to have 2bc cos a equals b squared add c squared minus a squared. So that has come over to the left and that has come over to the right. I'm now going to divide by 2bc. So now I have cos a is equal to b squared add c squared minus a squared over 2bc. And this is the rearranged version of the cosine rule that we need to be using when we're going to be finding an angle like we are now. But you can either just remember that directly, or you can just derive it from the formula. So let's have a look at the first question then. So this one down here at the bottom of the page, just draw it. We're going to try and find the missing angle. So we have 10, we have 14, we have 8, and we're trying to find this angle here, x. Now again, it does not matter which one you call B or C out of these two. However, the one that has to be A is the one that is opposite the angle that you're trying to find. That's the one that's crucial. It's essential that this one is A, the one opposite the angle that you're trying to find. However, it doesn't matter about the other two, which way round you think about those. So let's think about this now. So therefore, cosine of x is equal to 10 squared plus 14 squared minus 8 squared over 2 times 10 times 14. That's going to be the cosine of x. So let's put that into our calculators. So in our calculator, here we go. That's the button we want. So we're going to have 10 squared plus 14 squared minus 8 squared all over 2 times 10 times 14. Okay, gives us that. So let's write that down. Cos x equals 29 over 35. So therefore x is equal to inverse cos of 29 over 35. So we press shift, we press cosine, we press answer, we close the bracket, and that gives us the answer 30.4 degrees is what we've got for that one. So 34.0 rather. So x is equal to 34.0 degrees. Let's just do one more, just in the interest of, so we've got the hang of it. Let's do the second one. So the second one at the bottom of the page is, here it is. There is our 22 millimeters, 15 millimeters, 19 millimeters. That is E, that is G for golf. Okay, there we go. Okay, and let's say that's F. Okay, and we're trying to find this angle here. So we're going to write down that cos of x is equal to 22 squared plus 19 squared minus 15 squared all over 2 times 22 times by 19. That's going to give us our cosine of x. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So here we go on our calculator. So we're going to work out 22 squared plus 19 squared minus 15 squared all over 2 times 22 times by 19, okay, is equal to that. That gives us 155 over 209. So therefore x is going to equal the inverse cos of 155 over 209. So we're going to do inverse cosine of answer, close bracket, and that gives us 42.1 as our answer for that second one. So let's just have a quick look at that one. 42.1. So x there is equal to 42.1. And there you go. So in that case, we have found, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, 42.1 degrees is the correct answer to 1 decimal place. And so that's the second example of how we would use the cosine rule to find a missing angle. I hope you have found that helpful. And in the next videos in this series on the sine and cosine rule, we're going to be looking at more advanced applications and modeling where we have to consider bearings as well. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next lesson.